Hi everybody, welcome. It's good to see you. I'm Lynn from EJG'S. Happy Wednesday to you all that are joining us here live on Facebook or YouTube. We're so happy to have you here. Today we're going to really have fun with some different small projects using some techniques with velvet and velvet powder. And well, you're just going to have to stay with me because I'm telling you the cutest things. Then I'm going to show you one of the easiest little velvet projects that you'll ever do that jazzes up a store-bought item. So welcome. We are a brick and mortar shop here in Medina, New York. You can find us halfway between Buffalo and Rochester. We'd love it if you'd stop by to visit anytime. And you can also find us at LNJGoods.com. Megan is here with us today, and she is going to be adding a collection soon.
It's there.
She's working on it. She's continuing to work on it. Yeah, so we're happy to have you here. Oh my goodness. So we're going to be working with actual velvet, Pentart's velvet powder, some decoupage, glue. It's totally a crafty, fun day today, and I can't wait to share what I have put together. So let me flip the camera down, and if you're here, be sure to let us know that you have arrived, and we would love to hear your comments during this video to let us know what you think of the projects that we're doing. So let me flip that camera down. And I just flipped my glue down and we will get it going. All right, here we go. My table full of crafting stuff. Does anybody else have this kind of a situation going on when you are creating? Man, I do. I just love getting all the stuff out. It's like, I always think it's like a cartoon, you know, it's just this and this and this and this and this, you know, because once you start one thing, it just leads into another, and then your ideas start flowing, and then, you know, all of a sudden you've got 27,000 crafting supplies out on the table. So let me show you what we're going to do. These are little rectangle boxes. I'm already in progress with some of them, but I'm going to show you how I'll transform these into these beautiful little gift or pincushion boxes, or you can use them for whatever you want. And we are going to start with creating the look of velvet. Let's do this one on this piece right here. What I've done is I've already taken my, and I can't, there it is. I have already taken the top to this box and I painted it black because we are going to be working with Pentart's velvet powder. This is kind of the look we're going for right here. You're going to love how this all comes together. And so I'll set that aside, and this is painted black. And I've used one of the vintage brooches molds. Look at, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. They're so beautiful, and I just haven't played with them too much, but you can see all different types of vintage brooches. My friend Shannon at Pick and Boots did an incredible video showing how she created the look of antique cameos with these. I'm dying to try that method myself. And these I've already precast using our ivory resin, and I have already painted the outside edges with my favorite gold paint using Pentart Pigment Fix and my gold pigment powder. And while I've got that mixed up, I went ahead and mixed enough to be able to paint the interior of the boxes and the lid just to make them pretty and finish them off, okay? So everything kind of all blends together. So I'm gonna put these aside. We are definitely gonna get back to these in a few minutes. And we'll go to one that I've already got prepared in advance, and I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. Well, we're going to do this one. We're going to do this one. So I base coated in black.
Is it a fusion, like with a built-in top coat?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd want a top coat?
Not necessarily. Well, if it's Debbie's DIY, yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you don't have a paint that has a built-in top coat, you would want to use one.
Right.
It
I'm going
does.
to get out just a piece of paper here and grab just a blank sheet of paper because I'm working with velvet powder. I'm going to make a mess, a little bit of a mess. All right, so let me pull this down just a tad more so you can see this a little better. I'm going to get out a good old glue brush that will work its way. I want to make sure I can work its way in the interior of this casting, this little brooch. So I'm looking for just the right brush. I guess I'll use this one. That'll be good. And then I'm going to find a bigger brush for this piece. Who is watching with us here today? Who do we have?
I'll let you know in just a second.
Oh, Megan's still plugging away. I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay, but I can just let you know that there is a collection for today that's linked in the description up above if you're watching on Facebook, or down below if you're watching on YouTube. You can also find it on EJG'S.com. If you're watching on a computer or using a computer to find EJG'S.com, you can find the category featured on our live tutorials right at the top of your page. If you click on that, it's a drop-down menu. You just look for the date of today's live and the same title that you see for today's live, and you'll find a whole collection with a supply list of everything that Mom is using today. If you're using a mobile device, you just look to the left-hand side of your screen and there's 3 lines. You click on that, look for the same menu item that I just described. And of course, if you have any questions, you can call the shop. The phone number is right on that website, or email me, info@lnjgoods.com.
We had a lovely conversation with a lady that watches on YouTube this morning. Her name is Phyllis. And Phyllis, if you're watching today, it was so nice to chat with you today.
I also talked to CJ today. I
And
talked to a
CJ.
few ladies today.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We love it when you give us a call. We love hearing from you. And also, don't forget to leave questions in the video comments so that we can address those later. Okay, what am I going to do with this velvet powder? I want it to be covering this box top, and I want it to go inside of this this brooch mold. So I'm using the Hobby Glue, the tacky one from Pentart.
It has to be the tacky, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We talked about that earlier because there is another Hobby Glue.
Yeah, we like the tacky.
Mom says the tacky is essential.
Yep. Of course, I always put too much of anything on everything. So I'm going to carefully. I am the messiest painter. I'm not going to lie.
Don't lie, Mom.
I won't. I don't pretend to be the neatest crafter, painter, creator in the world. No way.
Okay, lots of friends are here. I see Deb Hoffman and Cheryl Macedo's here.
Hi, Cheryl.
Oh, we got double Cheryls here.
Oh.
And Cheryl Salvatore's here.
Okay, and then
Tina's here. Joanne Sykes is here from the UK. Nina.
Hi, Joe.
Melissa Jacobson. Laura Hall.
Can we talk to Joanne Sykes for a second, too?
Go right ahead.
I have got to give her a little shout out. Megan, I showed you that piece, the baptismal pieces that she did with the IOD molds. Joanne, they were amazing. She shared them in the tribe. Joe, if you are in our insider group, I would love it if you would share them there.
Really amazing.
Oh my gosh, just incredible.
Really, get in our insider group, please. The insider group is always the pinned comment on Facebook. There's a link there to join if you're not there already. It's a wonderful, supportive community. And you can share pictures there of your work, which you can't do in the comments here when we're live. So it's really nice.
And we love seeing them. It really just gives us so much joy to see those comments.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I've got my tacky glue on here, and my cap went rolling. I'll have to get that a little later.
Oh, that's what that was?
Just a little tip. You can throw a pin in the top to help to keep that opening clear. It does help.
Tips on tips.
A tip on tips. All right, now let's get to this velvet powder and talk about this for a minute. Velvet powder comes in a myriad of colors. We'll be using some pink and some of this beige in just a bit on another little part of this thing. It comes in the smaller sizes, which you can easily kind of puff on, and I'll be showing you that in a few minutes. And then it comes in the bigger sizes as well. I do want to let you know that the velvet powders in the large size are not going to be available any longer. They're only going to be selling it in the smaller containers. So if you want a big one, now's your time to get them while we still have them. So now I am going to just sprinkle this velvet powder all over. You've seen me do this when I did the little IOD specimens molds in those little frames. Okay, and I can be generous with this because I'll be dumping this off too. And then I want to pick up that little guy. Let me see if I have I need a forceps. That's what I need. A little forceps.
Why?
Just to pick things up when they're sticky and wet.
Oh, like a tongs.
Or little, yeah, but tiny, little. And I swear I had one when it's probably at home in my studio.
The Tim Holtz tiny, those little tiny
I don't want it to stick to the glue. I'd rather have a teeny tiny little tip. So anyway, just one of those things that I just thought of I wish I.
So tiny, like pointy.
Little pointy.
Like a tweezer almost.
Almost like a tweezer. Yes, it's exactly right. I probably have something like that around here.
That you don't.
I probably do, but anyway, we're just going to pick it up with a small instrument of some kind.
I'm shocked that JR doesn't hear us and isn't walking over with something like it.
I know, right? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I tipped that, and then I'm going to just...
You can't use the word tip more than you're using it today.
Well, the other day on a video, I said, how many times do you think I've used the word decoupage?
Tip is the word of the day, though.
So I'm really pressing that into the glue. And this glue is tacky. Then I can even pick it up with my fingers and press it in. Make sure that it's really pressed in there. I do love using this stuff. It just makes the perfect little velvet backgrounds for frames and so forth. But you can move this around and you'll see if there is any blank spaces there that you need to cover. And yes, it looks lumpy and bumpy right now, but it's not going to be, because once this dries, I will be tapping all of this excess off. All right, so I think I've got it. That's the cover of that. And then I'm just going to tip this guy upside down. No, why didn't it? Oh, because I didn't press it in. It didn't stick because I didn't press it in. Okay, we will press that right into that tacky glue. Tap off any excess right now. And then I'm just going to put these aside to dry right on this tray, and we'll take care of the loose stuff later. Let me get the glue and the cookies off my hand.
Lisa Hess, hello from Freehold, New Jersey. She says, I can't wait to meet you at camp in June. I can't wait either,
I
Lisa.
know, Lisa. That's awesome. I don't know if Marnie is watching. Marnie, I'll text you later. Yeah, we are getting ready to add Can you guys hear me? Yep. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to text you. Well, I will go back and just put that on Do Not
I
Disturb.
wonder why that comes up on there.
Mom?
What? I don't know. Well, you know, it's us. We're techies.
Your iClouds are connected. I don't know the way.
Okay. Now, I just thought I would experiment with something else. So I just want to show you what I did here. These are just silk flowers that I grabbed from upstairs. I just had little extra bits, you know, with the blooms that get stuck down at the bottom of a box of flowers, right? And here is what I did. I wanted to see if I could create the effect of vintage millinery flowers with these. And lo and behold, it really did kind of turn out cool. So these are little silk flowers. And here I did one with white, or I did beige. I did the beige. I kind of poofed that around the outside and poofed my pink on the inside. This is all pink, and this is a mix of green and that beige. This is the green. So what I'm going to do is show you how I make those. So here are those leaves again, and I'm taking that little glue brush
So cool.
and my tacky glue, and I'm going to coat the leaf or the flower, whatever, with. I love vintage millinery flowers. I get them wherever I can find them. You know, they're the things that were stuck to ladies' hats, or they were decorated ladies' hats. They were fabric. A lot of them were velvet. These are an example of these. I found these. They actually were shipped to me from Australia, and I love them. So we're going to kind of work to get the same effect. Here is that green. So let me see how this you can kind of poof this on. See that? So the little sizes are great for this kind of detailed project. So there they are. You tap it down,
Poof.
and poof. Okay. So let's try adding some pink to this one. Again, I'm going to just put some glue on there. Obviously, you're going to get a better effect, like if this was a pink flower. This one was pink, this was yellow, and I put pink over it, so I'm kind of doing the same thing right now. And let's spread that on here. I just think this is so cute.
I wonder.
What?
There's also decor glue tacky.
Yeah, either one.
So is that similar to the hobby glue, or you're not sure?
I think it is. I think it just comes in a bigger size so that you can maybe spread it on larger projects.
We do have that.
We do, yeah.
I know you were hoping for something in a...
Okay, so we got that on there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do the beige on here and see what kind of a color we get.
What a cool idea, Mom.
Thank you. I just thought of this. And what it'll also tone down that yellow. Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, really?
Ooh, thunder. Okay, but look at how aged and pretty that becomes now. And there's that little dust of pink underneath there. This is the original.
Wow.
Isn't that so pretty? I just think it's beautiful. I really do.
I'm amazed.
What a pretty little effect. So, and you know what? If you're still lucky enough to have some of the Tim Holtz Blossom, Ideology blossoms, those little millinery flowers that are white that you can customize, you could do those too.
But what a cool way to fancy up just some cheap little
Yeah.
silk
Yeah, isn't that pretty?
flowers, even ones that have fallen off like a arrangement.
Yeah, like the
And then
ones that
stick
end
them
up
to
at the
something
bottom
like
of
this.
a yeah, the ones that end up at the bottom of the
love
box
that.
of stuff, right?
I would make a little barrette for my hair.
Isn't that sweet? I know. So I'm not sure like how durable, like as far as like if you were to
Putting it
put it
in
in
my
your hair, I'm not sure. But I'm going to set these aside also to dry, and we will take a look at those later. Let me clear off my workspace here. There go the velvet powders. And let's talk about another way that we can use velvet in these projects. We are going to, now these are just random, you know, from my stash, just, it's a cotton velvet that I have used, and I tear it into ribbons. I do all kinds of things. I have it in a couple of different colors, not much, but anyway, I decided that I wanted to use that. I gotta admit, I was totally inspired by Julie Collins. She has an incredible Instagram account, and she does beautiful little vintage style ornaments.
Really cool.
If Mary Jo's here with me, I know Mary Jo is a fan, and I think she offers kits and she sells some of her stuff too. But oh my gosh, I was just captivated by these little tiny velvet boxes that she was doing. So I wanted to figure out a way that I could potentially do them for myself. So I have already glued, and I just used the tacky glue as well. You could use the decor glue.
And she was doing little old prescription boxes.
Yes,
Vintage.
yes, yep.
So cool.
And then what I want to do is I want to create, I want to do the velvet for the top of this. So what I'm going to do is I had traced a pattern of the top of the box, okay? And let me grab my, I probably just dumped velvet powder all over it.
Before we totally move on from the velvet powders, I just want to address
Yes,
a couple
go right
questions,
ahead.
if that's okay.
Yep.
So the tubes, Susan, are Pentart velvet powders, and you can find them linked in the supply list I made for today that is linked in the description below. I see you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, it's above or right on EJG'S.com under the menu item featured on our live tutorials. They're all linked there. And also just under the Pentart category on EJG'S.com. Many different beautiful colors. And then another question, would you put the powder on the back also, Sandra asked.
On the back. On the back of what, Sandra?
Maybe the flowers, isn't that what you were putting?
Oh, you could. Mine are going to be positioned so I don't need to do that. So I think you can play around with that and do whatever you want.
Nina loves Julie Collins.
I know.
She has beautiful velvet mushrooms.
She does.
She got a bunch for her Christmas tree. I'll try to link to her Instagram too.
All right, so here's how I'm going to cut my velvet for the top of the box here. I just made a little pattern, and this is the size of the top of the box-ish. But I want it to be able to wrap, I want my velvet to wrap all the way around. So this is like a 1/2 inch. So what I want to do is I'm going to trace this out, and I'm giving myself plenty of room here. Those of you that are incredible mathematicians could probably do this in a much better way, but we're crafting, and so we do what we know how to do.
We don't need to do math.
Well, yes, we do, and I am going to do that. So I've traced out the top of my box. Now what I want to do is I want to draw another rectangle outside of this one, and that rectangle is going to be a 1/2 inch plus about 1/8. So I'm going to do 5/8 of an inch around this. And why am I going extra? Well, I'd rather cut away any excess than have to try to fudge and stretch and fiddle with
Yes.
shortness.
Too
So
much is better than too little.
yeah, and I have to accommodate for the overlap, the rounded edge. All right. So let's go ahead and I am going to, and it depends on what size box you're using. You just want to measure the side of the box that you're using and how to determine and add this measurement to your box top template.
The name of the person on Instagram that inspired Mom, and she did get permission.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
No,
did hear
no,
back
that
from
was
her.
something. That was
That was
something
a different
else.
project. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, well, this is totally different than
Sorry.
what Julie does. I was inspired. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that was a different. We were talking about two different projects yesterday.
Yes.
And this is different. Yes, it is different. But the name of the person that inspired her is Julie Collins, and I'm going to link to her stuff here in the descriptions on both places that we're streaming, so that you can easily find her, because you need to see what she's up to. I forgot that we were looking at that other project yesterday, which is also exciting.
Can't wait.
That's something Mom asked for permission to teach. That's right.
I got to tell you, in the world of creativity and, and making, you know, it is always such a joy to me to be able to share my projects and when others are so willing to share. I always, if I'm ever going to do something or if I'm inspired by somebody and I want to kind of go off on that as far as, you know, if it's just like the project, I will always reach out to that person and ask them for their permission. I did not do that with Julie because this is a totally different kind of a thing that I'm doing. And she hand dyes and handcrafts all of her velvets and
I don't believe
uses antique flowers, and
I don't believe she teaches, right?
she does do kits with classes.
Spun,
yes. Spun cotton,
yes,
and yeah,
which
that
is
kind
so
of thing.
cool.
So here we go.
Let me find it. Do you know what her handle is? A lot of Julie Collins on Instagram.
Julie
Colling.
I can't remember. Hey, Mary Jo or Nina, if you want to drop that link, you can.
Or just if you give it to me, that way I can share it everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't get into Mom's phone to find the right.
Okay, now I'll take my velvet and I'm going to pin this to here. I am going to tear this because I want that frayed edge so that I can kind of stick it into the glue. All right.
Yes, Julie_Collings.
There's, yeah, you know how it is when it's. So I'm going to tear. And I'm going to tear. All right. I gave myself even a little smidge overage, so because of the tearing of the cloth. I have purchased lots of stuff, and actually during some of our private classes, I've shared with people her page. Let me pin this back in place here, and I'll tell you why. What I want to do now is I want to trim out my corners. So I'm just going to make a little square out of the corner. So that I can wrap this right around the side.
Okay, I've got it linked now in both places. Her Instagram, you would need to see it. I think I'll link it in also our insider group.
Okie doke. Now I've got my pattern and my fabric cut, fingers crossed, to the size that I need for the top. I do want to point out that when I wrapped this piece, I've already glued it all in place. My lid goes down over the top. So what I needed to do is I traced a line all the way around the outside of the box. And then I measured from there to the bottom of the box to tear a piece of this velvet so that I don't impede on the lid closing. And then I'll come back in here, we'll do that in a bit, and glue this little excess down. All right, get all the frays and everything off. So that will cover this whole piece on the bottom. But then it also leaves me room to put my lid on and gives me a tiny little bit of space here for that overlap of my fabric. So now we're gonna glue this onto the top. Let's do it. I'm gonna use my decor glue because I'm working with a wider space. Do you know that I stand during my entire live? I always forget to just sit.
Do you know I stand during my entire life except during the live?
That is true.
Do you ever see me sit besides when we do this?
Yeah, no, that's
Think about
true.
that until I go to bed, and that's why I have a seltzer bell next to my bed for my kids to bring me seltzer, because once I'm down, I'm down. That's how I live
That's
my
how
life.
she decides who the son of the day is.
Son of the day is, yeah.
Yep. All right, let's spread some of this glue on here.
JR, I love you so much. You're being so respectful and quiet. I wish you
really-
could see how slow motion he is. I
know.
shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have
I
drawn
know.
attention. He's so quietly rolling your packages past us and being so sweet.
You didn't let me have my phone TV on.
No, it was very loud. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna adjust this, kind of pull that. Be careful you don't get glue on the top.
Because it's very tacky.
Because that would make a very ugly mess.
It's very tacky. They're not kidding.
Look at, this is how, I've got velvet powder, velvet crumbs, all of it attached.
Velvet crumbs.
Yes, all of it
Gross.
attached to my fingers. I'm gonna need a clothes brush to go over these. Okay, so now I can come in and begin gluing down those sides. Okay.
Mom gave Grandma the little pot she made
Oh, she loved
on Monday, and I stopped there in the morning after I dropped the kids off at school, and she had me move it just so where she sits in her chair so that she can see
Oh,
it.
that's
always
cute.
see it.
Yeah, that's really cute.
She really loves it.
Where did you move it to?
Just it had to be moved just a little farther down her shelf so that she didn't have to
okay.
turn her neck to see it. She wants to rearrange everything,
Yes,
on
of
Friday
course.
when she gets her spring stuff out, but
That's cute. Okay, so I just want to be sure that I've got those corners glued in place. If there's any hanging over the edge, we'll deal with that later after this dries. And what a pretty little cover for a box this made. And I got to get a little touch of glue right in here.
she also loves those little those faux flowers that you gave her, because it really looks like they
look
go
real,
with her
don't they?
violets.
I know. Okay, here we go. Look at, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside to dry, and then we're gonna move on to the next part. Let's keep working with these velvet scraps. Okie doke. I am going to be a big mess. And I don't have baby wipes up here, do I?
Where are they? There's some in the bathroom. I'm going to get you some.
Yes, please. That might help to get all the sticky glue off of me.
And velvet crumbs.
And velvet crumbs, yep. Okay, let's look at, it's a little bit better, but I still have glue stuck to me. All right, these are our little brooch molds. So what I did is I grabbed this one and I am going to make a little pattern of the inside of this. Thank you. Would you mind opening that up for me?
Oh, it is open.
Oh.
What do you know?
What do you know? What do you know?
Has anybody here, or does anybody here live in the Florida Keys or has been to the Florida Keys?
Oh.
I'm going there on vacation and I've never been there before. I'd love to know what I must do. So far, we really don't have any plan in place. We're having a planning meeting this weekend.
Yes, Megan's going to be
Our major
gone.
focus is food.
I know, right?
That's the number one, you know.
Let's take a little piece of paper.
Is the green box on the table velvet powder?
Oh, no, girls. I am going to show you that in a second.
You're teasing it.
And guys, yeah. I remember at the beginning I said there's going to be an easy project that you won't want to miss. All right, so I just ran my thumbnail around there to create a little paper pattern.
Yes, Annie, I've heard it's not known for like the beaches, which is good. My kids don't like sandy beaches. But everywhere is water, right?
Okay, and I might need to just trim this down a little bit. You just kind of have to fuss. And the cool thing is, like with actual velvet fabric, you will be able to kind of stretch this a little bit to manipulate it into place. I just want to, yeah, that looks pretty good.
Nina said, can I guess the project? A kit for us?
What? No, 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 no. Are you wanting a kit?
We should probably be doing another kit soon.
I have a kit coming soon.
Oh, okay.
I do. The little fairy jar.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Yes, I've got all the parts and pieces. I
That
just have
one's
to put one
so-
together and film the video.
Oh my gosh, that one's so cute.
Yep.
Lori, we're staying in Marathon, but we're going to be there a week, so we'll have a car and we want to explore everywhere. So we'll be kind of centrally located.
Okay, I am first trimming. I made my little pattern and I kind of got it closer to the size of the inside of that brooch.
Ooh, that's a good recommendation, Nancy. Thank you.
And let's see how that goes on there. Oh, perfect. All right. Might need to trim just a little touch. Just a touch. I have had this project put aside, been thinking about this for the longest time, and I've had it in my tray down below. I still have to get a little bit more off of there. You know, you just got to fuss and fiddle. There's no way to make a perfect pattern of this. There really isn't. And let me grab my glue again. And I am going to...
The waterproofing spray.
Waterproofing spray.
Deborah says, I'm having a hard time finding the waterproofing spray on the website. What waterproofing spray?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Which one, Deborah? Did Mom talk about something?
Waterproofing spray? Deborah, who?
Tell me more, Deborah. You can always email me too.
And I'm looking for that tiny little tool that I had. I probably put it aside.
Yes, everyone wants a kit. It has nothing to do with what she's doing now, but we do have a cute kit that I forgot about, and now I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Mary Casey said, it would be cute to cut out the inside of that frame and make a pin cushion with the velvet.
Mary Casey, you are something, and I'm going to show you, you're going to love what we're doing. I'm going to show you another way to do this, but you're absolutely right. I never even thought of that. Add a little fluff and stuffing behind it. But look at that. Isn't that the cutest thing? I just want to make sure that that is really glued in place and take, I had that little tool here. There it is. And I just want to make sure that I have really pushed that in and along those edges. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this already. Well, I was loving it earlier.
Do you mean the marine finish, Deborah? That's not a spray. Oh, waterproofing terracotta. So that's not a spray. That is that you brush that on. And that's called Rock Hard. And I thought I added that to the supply list for Monday, but I'm going to give you a link right here in the comment, okay?
Look at this, you guys. Seriously, adorable. Adorable. All right, now we're going to let that dry, and I'm going to show you how I did the inside. I made a little pin cushion for the inside of this, Mary Casey. So I painted also the inside of my box here with gold, and then I have, I painted obviously these with my favorite gold. Then I cut 2 strips of this heavier, you've seen me use this, my friend Laura Jean gets it because it's packing stuff between prescription bottles. She works at a pharmacy, so she always brings me piles of this. And it's just the right weight. I love it. So I've cut 2 strips. They're about maybe a 1/2 inch to 5/8 inch, depending on how deep you want this. And then I hot glued it all in place here. I didn't push it right into the corner. It's going to be covered anyway. But I figured this would also help to support my little cushion that I made. Now, how did I make the cushion? I took this, I traced this bottom here, and then I cut inside of it probably about a 1/16 of an inch. Can you see that? So it's just a little bit smaller than the box. And I just tested it to make sure that it could fit in here, also taking into consideration that I was going to have velvet in there on this. So what I did is I took, this is just cotton batting, and I literally took this, and I think I cut out 5 or 6 pieces. It just depends on how thick your batting is. You might have polyfill, whatever you're going to use. I do like a batting because it stays nice and smooth and doesn't get bunched up. So this is just, like I said, a cotton batting that I had back in my stash, and I layered this up like 5 deep. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cut 5 different pieces and I just laid them on top of this. Then I took my velvet. I'm going to show you this real quick. Show you how I did it. I'm going to use these later anyway.
She did mean the marine.
The marine grade?
Yes.
Yeah, the marine varnish.
It would be cool if it came in a spray.
It would be. Okay, so I've got 5 layers. And then let me grab my velvet again to show you.
Mom,
What?
wouldn't that make the cutest little bed for one of the mice?
It would. It would. And then I cut this out, giving me just enough room to wrap and glue on the other side. All right, and I just stretched it nice and taut, glue and glue on the back side like this. You don't have to do this. You could just paint the insides of these boxes. It depends on what you're using them for. Now, what I saw Julie do, you could poke like 6 holes in here and you could do a little tufting, which would be adorable. So cute. And then when I had this all glued in place, I just used hot glue and I cut out my corners just like I did with when I made the top, when I did the lid, right? I cut out the corners so that I could have a nice corner without a lot of bulk. And then that just fits into the top of this. It is Nina, who makes all kinds of miniatures. She totally has probably done this to make cushions, but isn't that the sweetest thing? And it can be a little pin box. You can put hat pins in it. You can, I mean, even to put a beautiful brooch or something, just, but I just love it. I think it is darling. So that is how I did that little pillow on the inside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decoupage the outside of this, and I'm using my Decoupage Queen, and this one is called Market Roses, and that just fits right around there. So let me
Also, one of these would make a cute, like to use the mirror mist inside of it, inside one of these vintage brooches for a dollhouse or for the mice. Of course, I just think about the mice.
What a beautiful, I mean, my goodness, we can do so many things, can't we? Okay, and so we'll want that. And I've left enough so that I can sand off that bottom edge. Okay, I'm going to put that all the way around, and then we just want to thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. We really do appreciate you sharing your time with us. It just means an awful lot to us.
You're our best friends, really.
You really are. We have no others.
That salmon color is really pretty. I agree, Cheryl. I'd like to be draped in it.
Draped in salmon?
Well, no, not an actual salmon. I do like salmon, but
You don't
but
want
that
it.
color, I would like to wear it.
It's pretty, isn't it?
But I like that plush. That is like a really perfect, it almost has a little corally color.
Yeah,
It's
it
really,
does.
Really pretty.
It really does. So, okay, let's get our decoupage varnishing glue out, and we are going to decoupage.
Okay, that's the second person who said Key West Sloppy Joes.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
I'm going to wrap this right around the outside of the box.
Nina says she hasn't made cushions for her dollhouse. She pays someone to do that for her.
Oh, do you, Nina? Oh my gosh.
Nina, if you're in our insider group, you need to...
She is.
Do you know that, I don't know, I didn't know this before, you can use a search function in the insider group if you're looking for an answer to a question.
Yes, you can.
Maybe not everybody knows that because I really didn't. Or if you want to look up one of Nina's dollhouses.
Oh my gosh.
Just search. And because she's posted a few different things, miniatures that she's done, and they're
Her
spectacular.
videos. Oh my gosh.
She does video tours of them, and you should search them because they are amazing. But that's just a great little tip, just to use that word again today. We should call this video that you can use the search function in the insider group. Like if you had a question about something, you can see if someone's already answered it there.
I still have some tacky glue on my fingers, no matter how much I've washed them. And oh, because I think I spread tacky glue instead of decoupage glue. Well, hey, that's why my fingers feel so tacky. Oh my goodness. Well, it was just on that one end. I think it'll be fine. It's going to be just fine. We are going to put a little... Why didn't somebody stop me? Mary Casey. I'm shocked you didn't catch that, but we are on a delay, so
Yes.
I get it. Like if you used the decoupage, the Pentart soft touch varnish on this, I showed Megan the other day. It has the most velvety, soft finish.
It has a soft touch.
Oh, it's really crazy cool. It literally feels like the softest.
I wonder if it could be used as a makeup primer.
Maybe.
To get that cotton
Don't
candy
say that.
filter.
Don't say that. You don't want anybody watching this. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the soft touch wherever I have it. Let me see. Decor Varnish Soft Touch. I am going to use this on my box to give it that real velvety finish. All right. So we'll let that dry.
I'm excited to see what that looks like, and I hope it shows up on camera.
What's that?
The soft touch.
Well, I'm not going to use it because I
Oh,
have
you're
to.
not.
No, I have to let everything dry completely. So, okay, I'm just going to trim away a little bit of this. And what I'll do is I'll come in and just check to make sure that everything is very well glued down. So right now I'm just trimming away any little bit of excess. Okay, then on this velvet box, look at that. Now we have our own little velvet box.
Oh my gosh, it's downpouring.
It is downpouring, yeah.
What in the world?
Okay, so there it is. Isn't that so cool? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Now, what we're gonna do is we will take this, and that is gonna be glued onto the top like this. I'm so excited about this.
Oh my gosh, Mom, that's so pretty.
And then we can take one of our little flowers. I'm probably just going to use 2 of these.
Do we have a paint color that's that same? Is Veranda close to that color or not quite?
What?
That pink.
Maybe.
It's so good.
Hey, do you want to give an update about Debbie's paints or the JRV collection?
There's really no need. Everything's in stock,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
they're
Okay.
good.
Do you want to give an update about the Pentart wall decor?
That should be back in stock within the next week and a half, I think. We should have that back in stock on our website, I think, right?
I think
10 days?
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we understand.
But sign up for those email notifications. We don't want to show you them and like Mom will be doing lots more with them, but we hate to do that when we don't have them here yet.
I know, right?
But we will be doing lots more.
And just an FYI, like again, I was a little more conservative in ordering, which Megan is, we already had this discussion. But because I just wasn't sure, you know, we're just not sure how well received they will be. But I'm telling you, I am so excited. Look at this. Look at this. I'm so excited about those products. I'm so excited.
Yes, they are very special.
All right, let's do, I'm going to,
so cute, Mom.
Isn't that the prettiest little thing? And again, once my glue all dries, I'll come in and I'll just completely brush away all of the excess. But look how pretty. It is so pretty and soft and lovely. I mean, honestly, you could have you could have wrapped this with a ribbon and tied it here, and that could have been so lovely too. I wanted to keep this simple to show you a really nice simple option. And now what we'll do is I'm going to move on to, I want to dry this little guy because we want to be able to get that pink, that velvet piece, our velvet brooch on the top of this.
Crumbs are making me crazy.
They are. I
Crazy
am so stuck with glue and okay, we'll let that dry on its own for just a second. Let me bring my tray of velvet back here. This has probably dried. I would leave this even overnight. And I'm just going to tap the excess. Let's put that on there just to be able to show you. I don't want to push it right down because, and then I'm going to tap off this and then just take a little stiff brush to remove the velvet powder from the gold.
It's very cool. We still have the code for the Easter favorites collection is still active. I'm going to keep it up through the end of the week because Augie and I are going to work really hard to ship Thursday and Friday. That way you can get any supplies you might be ordering for any Easter crafting. Augie will be here tomorrow and Friday with me for a bit. So we'll get everything out. That's a guarantee from that collection. If you ordered it, it's all here and in stock. And you use the code all caps Easter 10 to get a little extra discount. A lot of the stuff is already on sale too. That's linked right near the supply list below in the description on YouTube, above on Facebook, and it's also right on our homepage, that Easter collection.
I am just playing with an idea here. This is one of our velvet ribbons. Like, I love the way that looks. I think I will end up gluing that on.
That's a great question, Kat. She said, I'm wondering if any molds from the IOD Cameo would fit inside the brooch mold.
Yes.
I think they do.
Yep. Okay, so we will, I want this to dry more. I don't want to like rush this, but I really liked the look of this blush colored ribbon on here. underneath. And I think what I'll do is I'll glue it to wrap it right around. Let me cut that right now so I remember that. And then I think on this one, I'm not going to use one of my handmade millinery flowers. I think what I'm going to do is use one of my little vintage velvet millinery flowers. And
These
maybe
are so pretty. Like if you got your mom a
maybe
piece
just
of jewelry,
one of these.
or even if you got her a gift certificate somewhere to put it inside this.
I know. Oh, it's so sweet. I know.
I'm sure one of the boys is probably going to make me one of these.
Probably,
Don't you
Megan.
think,
I
for
would
Mother's
think
Day?
so. I would think that that would be a nice thing to do.
You can help them with it.
Okay.
I mean, you've already got 2 made, so just 2 more.
Right.
That's all you have to do.
I'm just going to fuss with that, and I think that's going to get glued right on the, oh, look at that.
That is really cool.
Isn't that precious? It's so precious. And then we need this little pop of lighter color behind it.
A cameo would be so pretty in the black velvet, I agree.
Yep. So well, what the heck? I got my glue gun on. Let me just. Let me just do this. What the heck? Of course, you want to make sure you cut your ribbon to the right size. I better do this later. I'm going to do this later when I have so much sticky stuff on my hands. Because I think what I might do too is I might wrap that little stem. I got to wrap that little stem with some florist tape. Well, maybe I will get that on there. These are so beautifully like romantic and so soft and pretty. Oh gosh. And we'll pop this on here. Oh my goodness. Look at that, you guys. Look at that. There it is. Look at how fun that is. And I'm going to glue this right on here, but I think I want to wrap these with a little bit of florist tape. Oops, my little stamen popped right through the center. I'll fix that. But yeah, look how cute. So there's one little box, 2 little boxes, and I'm going to show you now how easy this is. I found this on Amazon. I'll link it in our Amazon shop.
Laura said the pink ribbon was the perfect touch.
I think so too. Look at this. You can buy these. They're little velvet covered travel jewelry cases, but I thought what a great little gift idea. Even like for bridesmaids or, you know. And then I just took one of the vintage brooches. I painted the outside gold, and I used a little touch of the Lost Garden transfer.
That's what that is.
And then I used the decoupage, what is it? The triple thick glaze right over the top of it to give it a nice glossy finish. So cool. I am going to glue this in place then too. I wanted to keep this one a little simpler. I didn't want ribbons and all kinds of things on it because I thought for travel you wanted something more durable, and I just think that is just the easiest little upgrade to one of these velvet travel jewelry cases. But look how pretty all of these are. Every one of them has a different look.
Will you link to that box on in your Amazon shop?
I will.
So they can find that?
Yes, I will.
That is so cool.
And it's just, you know, they're just, I love them. I love every one of these. Me and too. I think they're just beautiful. Simple, you could do whatever you want with them, but look at the fun we had with velvet of all kinds. Lots of velvet. Let me bring this up and get my face back on here so I can give you a proper goodbye. Does anybody have any other questions before we finish up?
So guys, everybody just loves what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that you will try one of these. I just think they're so precious. Absolutely precious little gift ideas. They really are.
They are beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Let me show you. We did get our last issue. The March issue number 3 for Jeanne d'Arc Living has just been released. We just got them in. So those of you that have subscribed, you will be getting yours. I think Megan mailed them out.
Yes, I did.
We just got them. So we do have a subscription option. It's a nice option to choose. I love this magazine. Totally my cottagey vibe. And it's so beautiful. I can't wait to get this home and look through every single page. No ads. It's perfect. And what else did we have to mention? Anything else?
That's it. I think I mentioned that the Easter collection is there, and I'm going to keep the discount up through the end of the week, and August and I will get all of those orders shipped out by Friday.
Yeah.
So
all right.
You can do your Easter crafting.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's watching, we will see you next week. Watch for a really awesome video to drop, a short edited video on YouTube, probably Sunday or Monday. Okay, or probably Sunday, or Sunday is my goal. Yes, okay, Sunday. It's almost done, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's all about inlays, and inlays. Oh, I'm not going to tell you anymore.
No, don't tell them.
It's just, you're going to love it. Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys. You have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.